Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David T. Allen, or if you'd like, you can call me Super Dave 817. We are here to discuss number 56. Number 56, the Python Patrol Officer. So this is going to be interesting video with Python Patrol. We did Tiger Force a couple days ago. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into Python Patrol and talk a little bit about that. So thank you everybody for joining me in the chat. So we're going to start off with there is no Python Patrol designs or explanation during Dan Clansmith's series of books. He did not cover Python Patrol, but the creating history of G.I. Joe. But Carson Metaxas did cover the Python Patrol in his series of books. This is volume 4, 1988 through 1989, Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe by Carson Metaxas and 3D Joes. So they have all the Python. Bobby World, thank you for joining us. Let's see. What do you have to say? I have a couple of these, and I bought some fresh paint just to around the eyes. It's amazing how that little touch can make that one character or not so cookie cutter. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hello, Lendy Hanna. Thanks for joining us. So we're going over Python Patrol in this episode. So Carson, he had all the Python Patrol packages, vintage packaging. So the one that we're going to be covering is the Python Officer. So it's this one down here in this corner right there. That's the vintage package that we're going to be covering for this video. So it's a really cool deco. I like the greens. I like the yellows, how they place them on there. So he's going to be a little different than the Viper that we covered in the last video. But still, I think it's a cool version of him. Here's the vintage version. I don't have any of his accessories. So again, I collect. He's a very tight figure. I'm not a mint complete collector. I collect the best I can find something. If I can find it and it's missing a missile, then I will get it with a missing missile. Or if I can get it with some of the weapons or accessories missing, then I will get it that way. I maybe at some point down the road I will end up getting all the accessories for everything, but that's just the way it is right now. And so here's the vintage Python Patrol Officer. So, like I said, he's got some really cool deco on him, some greens and yellow, like cross hatching. We talked about it in the Viper video, but the Python Patrol, they made their first appearance in Operation Dragonfire. Cobra Commander came up with a program. I think it was Lone Dragon or somebody told me. Where they were able to extract the pythonization of a python snake, and they were able to layer it over the soldiers and troopers and the vehicles in order to get the python system or I guess, I don't know, energy defense. I'm not sure what you would call the Pythonization process, maybe the process. And so this is our second Python. Third, actually, because they did a bat that was never a Python item. So we got the bat, we got the viper, now the officer. So they spread these Python figures out, and items out, I should say, not figures, but items too, because we're going to be getting some cool Python items out. And I like the way that they spread them out. They're not one on top of each other. And so I think that's a good way. There's a little bit of red, a little red deco in that too. So that's going to carry over into the classified version. All right, so we're going to put him aside. See if he'll stand up. Yeah, he stands. So in the G.I. Joe Real American Hero comic number 88, Python Patrol was created in this as well. And they have a totally different origin in this, where they're part of the Iron Grenadiers. And they create this Python process. So that's where you get the Python Patrol from G.I. Joe Real American Hero. So now let's get into the designations for the Python Patrol. This is 56. Again, this is our first time opening this figure. We are going through all the figures one by one, and we're going to open them up as they come. And he is next. So let's see. We have the 5 stars. 5 stars is leader, because he's an officer. Then we have the ammunition. Let's see, that one is light weapons. So we have leader, light weapons. We have the eye, which I don't have the eye on here. And then we have that gear, which is probably operations, the one with the 2 gears. I don't know if it was Lenny Honda, you, or Lone Dragon that mentioned the engineering or the operations type part of this, because that's not on here as well. That's not on my listings. The eye or that one. So we're just going to go with operational, and the eye is some sort of leadership thing, maybe. So those are his designations. So then we have the same artwork that's on the Tiger Force and previous Python Patrol, that jungle with all those scanners and computers and stuff, trying to deduce what's in the woods there to make sure that no one's infiltrating G.I. Joe's or Cobra's Island or whatever. I really like it. It's like a temple back there. It's a really nice piece of artwork. I would like to have gotten a larger piece of this artwork, a bigger expanded version. Maybe we will, actually, now that I say that, with a figure in the future. So then it scrolls over and you get this beautiful piece of very eclectic colored art that really is pops. And we went back to the old packaging, so I'm very happy that we did that, because I liked all this cool original art that they had on these. They really look nice. We have the Python Patrol logo on the package, which I'm glad that they're designating these as Python Patrol. So I think that's it for the package. Let's pull this guy out of here, and we'll see what we have for accessories. So we have the interior artwork, which is a red version of that back artwork, but it has the Python Patrol logo on it. So we're going to set that aside. All right, so he comes with lots and lots of gear. So the officer that this is mimicking, let's see. I have the officer. I should get him out. Yeah, he's a bit tricky to get out, the officer, so I'm not going to get him out right now. But I'll try to talk about the differences from my memory. because the officer had a lot of blue. He was almost all blue with a bit of gray and a little bit of red. So this one is very similar to the vintage. Um, and his hat comes off, whereas the other officer, I don't think the hat came off. So that's new. And he has the chevron on the helmet there. He's got the little red collar, and he looks very, very similar to his vintage version. This is a very vintage inspired Python officer, I must say. He's got a bunch of secondaries, whereas the vintage one, the secondaries were all like sculpted in. His secondaries are all loose. So he's got this harness here. He's got a secondary belt with a two holsters, three items he can stick in that belt, in that holster belt, and he's got a knife sheath on his left leg, and he's got a couple of arm guards on both sides of his arms. His wrist is a little loose. I don't like that. One of his wrists, his right hand wrist is very loose. So I think pretty much the figure is very similar to the previous figure. Has a little silver deco. It has the Cobra emblem in the center, whereas I don't think the vintage had that. No, it did not. There's no Cobra emblem there. But this one does have a Cobra emblem in the middle chest there. Has all the cool layering the previous one had. It's got a black mask over the face like the previous one. The previous one was blue, but you can see those really creepy eyes in there. Can you see that? Oh, wow. Isn't that sinister? They did a really good job with the eyes on these face printing process, I must say. And I love the layering of the green over the lime as well with the chest and the arms. They did a good job doing that, where it was paint in the other one, but they made it layered on this one. And so that must have been difficult trying to do that over an existing figure, unless that was part of the design process when they made the original officer version. He's got a lot of grays and blacks, along with that little bit of silver and red. He's got the normal head articulation with the ball joint. He's got the double pinned shoulders, the calf articulation, the double pinned elbows. He does not have the secondary wrist articulation. He does have the regular wrist articulation. He does not have the ab crunch. He has the waist. He's got the crotch articulation and the waist articulation there for the legs. He's got the thigh articulation there, double pin knees. He's got the second ankle articulation and the foot rockers. So he's missing a couple of the other points of articulation that some of the other figures have. But a lot of this harness and these secondaries all layered, and they look really, really nice, in my opinion. Hey, Sean Jones. Thanks for joining us in the chat. How are you? I'm doing pretty good overall. Thank you for joining us. So there's your Python Patrol officer. Let's see what he's got for accessories. He's got a lot of stuff here. He's got a harness. I think this harness, this backpack harness, I can't recall who had this. Who had this backpack harness? Can you guys remember? Maybe it was the previous officer, and he had like a shotgun or whatever. It could have been the other officer that had it. I'm going to stick that in there. See if I can get it through the other harness. There, the secondary. Yep, I got it on there. So he's got that holster there for a shotgun. Let's see. All right, so then he's got the shotgun. Let's try and get that. Now, this is the era where a lot of the weapons were a little wibbly. So they tried to change that over the next couple years. This is probably the second year of Classified. So it was 20. So this is 21, I'm guessing we're in with this figure. And so the figure, the accessories were a little wibbly, and they they didn't really straighten. The plastic was a little loose, so they tried changing that. So I'm going to put that in the harness in the back, because that's like a shotgun. And there's a lot of greeble on that. Man, look at all the cool technical stuff that's on that, on both sides of that. So I really like it a lot. I'm going to stick that in there. There. That shotgun there. So he's got that in there in his back. Let's see. So then we got this little doodad. It looks like it's a spyglass. That's what I've come to realize with those. That's like an eyeglass type thing. It's a little teeny piece. I could not get it on the last figure that had it. It would not go on there. So then he comes with a pistol. Looks like a Luger type pistol. Yeah. So we're going to put that in the one of the holsters on his belt. He's got like 4 different holsters on here. But one of them is for a gun. Let's see. So put that there. There. So I got his gun in his holster there. And then he has a knife. Typical knife that most of the figures come with, silver deco on that knife. I'm going to put that in the sheath on his leg. There. I'm guessing that this spyglass can go on this belt as well. It's just a matter of how do I put it in there. Let's see. I'm going to have to fiddle with that because I don't want to lose it. It's a very small part. So I'm going to try to put that on later. But it will go on his belt. So then he's got his gun. And then he also has a cartridge, ammo cartridge there. And then he has his gun. His gun has a little deco, has some green deco to match the Pythonization process. There's a lot of greeble and detail on that gun. So let's see, where does that go? I don't know if that's supposed to go on the top. So the top, that's where the spyglass goes. It goes on the top of this gun. The problem is I never can get these to stay. I don't know. I'm not sure. They're tricky to stay on there. And then he has another cartridge that's separate, but that was already on the gun itself. So he's got a second cartridge there. So I'm guessing this cartridge is a backup cartridge, and it's going to go in his belt so he can stay in action. So in case he needs a second cartridge. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze that in there. There, maybe. Let's see. All right, so I got the cartridge in there on the back of the backpack, or his secondary belt. There, you can kind of see it there a little bit. The only part I don't have on him is this spyglass. But the spyglass thing is supposed to go on his gun, but I cannot get it onto the gun. I'm going to have to fiddle around with that. But we're going to try and give him his gun. Let's see. Now that hand there is a little wibbly. So I don't know. Well, put that aside. The gun is a little bit wibbly, and that wrist is a little loose as well. So maybe I should put the gun in the other hand. Put it in this hand, because that wrist is very loose. He does not come with any extra hands. So there. So I put that gun in that hand instead, because this wrist is very loose. I don't know if that's a defect of these, if they are all loose like that, but there you go. There's the Python patrol officer with all of his accessories except for this little doodad, which I probably could put in here. I'll see if I can get it in there. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. Yeah, I got it in there. I got that spyglass in there, so it's removable from his belt. I have all that stuff on his belt now. I don't recall if the other one had all that stuff. Do you guys recall that? If that belt on the previous one had all those spots? If I had the figure, I could compare it to that to show. I have to try and dig him out without knocking over a whole bunch of figures. I see him there next to Firefly and Storm Shadow. Let me see if I can dig him out so I can compare them. I got him out. I got him out for you guys so we can do a comparison. All right, so here he is. And I'm going to take his helmet off. I'm going to see if that comes off. It does come off. I didn't recall the helmet coming off because it has the blue underneath with the gray, and it has the chevron. All right, put that back on. So let's see. Yep, it's pretty much the same thing. So he's got the little spyglass, he's got the gun thing, and he's got the other part for the weapons cartridge. So it's pretty much identical to the previous one. Everything looks very, very similar on him. And if you look at it in comparison, it's just the colors. The colors are different. That's the only difference on this. Just the colors. Everything else looks pretty much spot on. And that makes sense that they would keep it pretty close to that version, because that's how it was with the vintage figure. It was pretty much a repaint of the previous version that they released, right? And so that makes sense that they would do that. So I'm putting him on a stand so he can stand with his compatriot there. There you go. And so there you go, your Python patrol officer and your regular officer comparison and your vintage. There's your vintage. So this is going to be a quick video because there's not a lot to go over with this. You guys have any questions or anything? There's been a lot going on in the community recently. Hasbro is moving to my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. Hasbro headquarters, they're moving. And maybe other people are disappointed about that. I'm kind of happy about it because it's my hometown. And a lot of these big corporations, they want to move to like iconic cities to have that signature location, like New York, London, Dublin, Los Angeles, Boston. Those are all signature iconic cities that these companies want to be out of. So it doesn't bother me that Hasbro is moving. I feel bad for some of the employees and stuff like that. That's sad that they might not be able to work at Hasbro because they have to move or what have you. But I've had to move for work and different other reasons. So it's part of life. So hopefully people will be all right. Also, we've gotten a little bit of news on the police officer. So the police officer is coming. There was a post about that from Hasbro socials. So the police officer will be coming in the next couple of weeks, and it'll be dropped sometime probably in October. We also got a schedule of events coming. We got London, we got MCM London, we got New York Comic Con, we got Los Angeles Comic Con, LA Comic Con, and then 10/27. So we'll be getting a lot more cool stuff coming for those in the future. Maybe renders, maybe some pictures of some of the figures, the name onlys, and stuff like that. What else is going on? We've gotten a lot of stuff dropping and being shipped out and getting notifications as well. I got my Law and Order shipped. I got my Snake Eyes version 4 shipped. I got a notification on my Monkey Wrench. The one that I'm really looking forward to out of that wave, Cobra Commander version, I guess it would be version 3, but Armored Coco, my favorite Coco, I haven't got a notification on him yet. I'm very upset about that. Bobby World, I found a vehicle called a Briar Horse RV that I turned into a SWAT bus just for that officer. Oh, that's awesome, because the police officer is one of my most anticipated figures because there's so much awesome stuff that can be done with that. I'm going to probably end up getting like 4 of those police officers just so I can have a whole like SWAT team or whatever to go with Shockwave. I think the police officer is like one of the most toyetic figures that they could have created because it comes with 2 different ethnic heads. It comes with all that different gear. That it's just so modular with that. But yeah, I'm with you there. There was a vehicle that I think Ramen Toys did, a van, or somebody did, that is a good vehicle to use, a van to use for the police. I'm not sure. There was a vehicle that came out with during the 2000s. I think it was one of the movies, and it was all black and it had like these cool spikes in the front of it, and it was all decked out. It was all black and something like that. I'll have to bring that van out and show it to you guys in the future so you can look at it. It's in another room, or I would have gotten it for you to look at. But it's a cool van, G.I. Joe van that they used. For one of the movie lines, they released it. But that's awesome. I'm glad, Bobby World. You're so good with that stuff. I just don't have that skill. I always have to rely on people to help me whenever I do customs, stuff like that. But yeah, I got my a whole bunch of notifications and figures on the way. Still waiting on those higher figures, the next batch of higher figures to arrive. So what do you guys got coming in? You guys get notifications? Are you excited about some of the stuff that's coming in? Are you excited about what we could possibly be getting in some of these conventions as renders, name onlys, maybe some views of some of the name onlys that we got at San Diego Comic-Con, and then trying to get some of the stuff that's going to be dropping for Target's Fall Geek Out, Walmart's event, and the convention circuit with Pythona, Ghost Viper, and the Short Fuse and Steeler 2-pack will all be pre-orders over the next month and a half. So are you guys excited on a lot of that stuff? Are you going to hit some of these conventions to try and get that Pythona? Because they said she's not going to be orderable on Pulse till after a lot of these conventions. And so that's going to be tricky. I hope they come to MegaCon again next year because they had an event at MegaCon, a Transformer event. I'm hoping the Hasbro team comes to MegaCon and they have some of that stuff where we can buy it there because I would love to buy some of that stuff at MegaCon. I hope. And that's in March, the middle of March of next year. So I've got a long way to go before that possibility. It would be awesome if there was some sort of event at MegaCon again. I get to talk to Emily again and say hi to her. She was really nice. So I guess that does it. Unless you guys have something else you want to ask me or questions or whatever, we have a big one coming up next. A mega character with a vehicle, nonetheless. And it is going to be a really cool video. I've been looking forward to this one, so I've kind of been rushing to get to this particular video because it's an awesome character, awesome figure, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow at some point. Would you guys rather I do a video in the morning or in the evening at this time? What time of the day do you guys find these videos better accessible? Around this time at night or between the 9:30 and 10:30 time during the mornings? I'm going to leave that in your hands, whether you want me to do it at night or during the morning. Okay, so you guys chime in the chat and let me know. And then if you guys all say one thing, then I will do it at that time because it's going to be a good one. It's number 57, a big hitter on this one. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. So that's that. We're still playing package, guess the package game every episode because so far they've been switching back and forth to packages. They're doing the exclusive packaging. They're doing the new package on Sergeant Slaughter. They're doing the deluxe packaging. They're doing 2-pack packaging. They're doing the old Python and Tiger Force packaging. So there's a lot. They're going back and forth. So it's guess the package every episode. And it's going to be for at least, I'm going to say, including the vintage package, I'm going to say the next 5 more videos is going to be guess the package for that episode. But, it keeps us invested in this stuff. But yeah, I've got some really cool stuff coming up. So I look forward to that next video. You guys don't have any recommendations when I do the video? So it's my choice. All right. I guess I will make it a surprise to you guys when I'm going to do it then. Hopefully you guys will be able to tune in because it's going to be a big one. All right. So I guess I'm going to let you guys go and we will talk to you next time. Thank you guys in the chat. commenting, and thanks everybody after the fact commenting and asking questions. I appreciate it. These videos are for you guys, and this is another Cobra video, so we're gonna go Hail Cobra. There you go. See you next time.